started, but yeah.
Yeah, so we've got people here. It's 2 o'clock, and you can start whenever you are ready.
All right. So if you haven't been here before, my name is Andre Pickens, and I am Sam's partner. And I am going to be teaching you a very valuable lesson today. And it is how to turn self-appreciation, or rather how I turn self-appreciation into cash. Now, I want to start this by saying this. Anybody can do what I'm about to say. All right. I don't care what your walk of life is, what your situation is. Anyone can do what I'm about to talk about. All right. But I want to start with a story. Okay. And so my story begins in, actually, let's start it a little bit before that. So I'm going to start with when I started getting mentored by my mentor. Okay. Around that time, I was a freelancer. All right. I was doing a lot of different internet gigs. I was, making websites for people. I was doing copywriting. I was even sometimes doing app development, web development, because I was a programmer. Like, I was doing all kinds of different things for people. And on the side, I would work on my own projects, my own game projects. And so, because I was a game designer. And one of the biggest struggles that I had was just getting clients, like everybody else. Like, everyone has problems getting clients, right? And my mentor, when I met my mentor, he knew from the very moment he looked at me, he was like, "You ain't got no client." Like, from the very moment he saw me, he was like, "Yep, that's a no client having somebody right there. He got no clients." And because I was barely paying my bills, and I just had, he could just read me like a book. I didn't have to say no words. He could just know. And he was like, "All right, well, what can you do?" And I went through this whole list, and he was like, No. I don't care about any of that shit. I don't care. What can you do? And I was very puzzled by the question. I was like, "Well, what do you mean? I just told you. These are my skills." He said, No. I didn't ask about your skills. I said, "What can you do?" And I just didn't get it. Now, by the end of this, you'll know what that means. But I didn't get it. He just kind of shook his head like, "All right." All right, let's see if you figure it out eventually, right? So anyway, a couple of months in, and I'm working with him, and I'm hoping to learn some secret to how I would just watch people come to his door and just want to hand him money. And I'd be like, "What the hell, dude? Like, I can barely get on the call with someone, and they wanted to, barely get on the call, and he's got people lining up at the door ready to just throw him money." And I was just like, what am I missing here, right? And if you've actually read the book Quantum Networking, you know a little bit about this particular story. But if you didn't read the book, I'll kind of gloss over it a little bit. And I was like, well, what the hell? What is he doing that I'm not doing? And that's actually it. He was not trying. Like, he did not go out of his way for people to come to his door. He just kind of existed. And people came to his door. It's almost like his home had like this magnetic attraction to it because of him. And I don't really know of a different way to explain it than that. All right. So after some time, I started picking up on a few things. Now, granted, his wife, I used to think, and I talk about this in the book, that I used to think that his wife was married to him because he had money. His wife was like 40 years younger than him, right? So I was like, "Oh, it's because of the money, this and that." No, because she had her own money. She had her own bread. They just really loved each other, right? So I had this like image in my head, like, well, what the hell? Like, she's got her own thing. She's making a bunch of money. He's got his own thing. He's making a bunch of money. What am I missing? And the thing is, for the time that I was working with him for a little while, he didn't tell me anything. He had me doing like random stuff. Just didn't make any sense. So one day he's like, "All right, let's talk about why you don't have any clients." And I was like, "Okay, let's talk about that." Like, finally, it's like 4 months later, right? Okay, let's talk about it. And in the book, I actually talk about like when he has me outside and he's like, "What is this?" and the whole thing of assumptions. But then he goes, "Well, this is why you don't have any clients. because you've made so many assumptions long before you've ever gotten the client to be in front of you, right? And I was like, well, that's interesting. He was like, so what you need to do is you need to stop making so many assumptions. The first assumption that you have to stop making is that people cannot afford you. Okay, that's the first assumption you have to stop making, because everyone has this belief in their mind, especially when they try to strike out on their own. And maybe you guys in the chat know what I'm about to say. We all have this belief at some point that, oh no, that's just too much. I got to start low and then work my way up, right? In terms of price. And that's, if you have your own business, you know what I'm talking about. All right. Or maybe you do. And that was one of those things that I was like, okay, so what should I do? What should I be looking at? And he said, well, your approach is wrong. And then we're going to start here at number 1. He said that your approach is a guppy approach. Okay? What a guppy approach is when you are looking to try and go out and grab as many people as you can and hope that one of them becomes your client, or 2 of them, or 10 of them, right? And so you're out there, maybe you're doing a little small stuff here and there, blah, 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 and you're hoping to get a bunch of people to notice you so that you can get clients out of them. And he said that that approach was awful. In fact, it's exactly why I don't have any clients. Okay? And I was like, okay, all right, that's fair. So what should I be doing? And he gave me the whale approach. So instead of trying to get 10 clients, what I should do is get 1 client that's like having 10 clients. All right? And I was like, okay, I can see the logic behind that. He said, and he would tell me, it's not about logic. All right? Think about this. If you have 10 people that you work with on an extensive basis, okay, if you have 10 people that always come to you first, regardless of what the situation is, you'll never not have money. You'll always have money, period. And so I was like, okay, 10 people. All right, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this to get 10 people. Now, when I started his process, I got like 3 clients. That was plenty enough at that point, because those 3 clients was enough to make sure my bills were covered and I could actually kind of chill, relax. Because I had those 3 clients. And because I used a lot of what he taught me. And so I got away from the guppy approach, the hoping and praying and all that. I got away from that and started going for the whale approach. The whale approach, and the difference between a guppy and a whale approach is basically this. That in a guppy approach, no relationship is being built. Whereas in the whale approach, the relationship is the most important element. All right? So there's that. Is there any questions or comments or anything like that?
Yeah, Faye can relate totally to this. These are definitely thoughts I've had verbatim. The idea that people can't afford your prices. That's something I can relate to as well. And if anyone else here wants to chime in, feel free. Welcome. This
Absolutely.
is a very relaxed space. Dr. Catherine said, yes, currently dealing with something similar.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
All right. So right there, that's a really big struggle to get over, right? So the next thing that you have to do after you've identified this whale approach, how you want to approach it, is you cannot be afraid to ask for appreciation from others. Now, let me explain what this means, okay? Appreciation in this particular case is interchanged with money, but there's a reason I didn't use the word money. All right? So you cannot be afraid to ask for the money. This can be a really big challenge. And this challenge can exist for a few reasons. Let me know in the chat if you're familiar with why one of these particular reasons. 1, because you don't really know what the value of what you offer is. 2, because you came up with a price, you suggested it to someone, and they decided that they didn't want to pay that price. Okay? 3, because your competitors charge less, and so you're trying to compete with your competitors. All right? And so when you go to someone and they go, well, why should I give you this when this person over here is charging this? You don't have an answer. Okay? Those 3 things, if out of those 3 things, which one of those things have you guys experienced? From my experience, what I have noticed for the most part, it's that most people don't even know what their value is. They have no idea, right? And so when they don't know what their value is, it makes it really difficult, right, for someone to be able to say, hey, this is how much I'm worth, or this is how much I believe that you should. It's not so much how much you're worth. So that's one of the phrases that people use. It's the language thing, where they go, okay, this is how much I believe this is worth. When in fact, the phrase is, okay, this is how much appreciation I will accept for this particular thing. This is the type of language. This is a shift in language. Okay? So if you want this from me, this is the expression of appreciation, right? You express appreciation to me in this way, then this is the case. So it's a bit of a shift in difference. So is that a response to what I said earlier?
So Faye said, I don't want to chase my competition to the bottom anymore.
Good. Good. And I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. So this is a really big part of self-appreciation number 2 here. Okay? So being able to be like, you know what, I don't want to chase people. That's self-appreciation right there. Because what you're doing is you're respecting your time. You're respecting your time. When you respect your time, you are respecting yourself. Write that down. When you're respecting your time, you're respecting yourself. Okay?
We've got a comment if you...
Yeah, go ahead.
That's okay. So Dr. Catherine said, I've been told my prices are too high. Haven't closed the sale, even though I know the value of restoring your health. Okay. So, you know what, Dr. Catherine? I'm going to do you a solid right now. Okay? Live right here. I'm going to consult you. Okay? I'm going to consult you. All right. So, Dr. Catherine, tell me how much you charge for whatever it is you charge for. Just tell me. Let us know.
Okay? I'm going to help you right here.
Let us know, Dr. Catherine, how much you charge. And in the meantime, Andre, what was it that you said people should write down earlier so I can put it in the chat?
Yeah. So it was that if you're respecting your time, you're respecting yourself.
Okay. So, I'm making notes in the chat. Okay, while we wait for Dr. Catherine's answer for that. If that's okay with you, Dr. Catherine, if you don't mind. Okay, sure. Okay, $247 per hour for consultation.
Her?
Yes.
That's what she charges?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And what does someone get in a consultation?
Okay. Let us know what somebody gets in a consultation, how long it is, and what? Go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say, I'm only arbitrarily asking these questions because none of this actually matters. All right. But I just have a curiosity for it. None of this matters as to why people think that your prices are too high. I'm just curious as to what you think.
Okay.
So we'll get to, actually, the next thing I say may kind of illuminate some things on that.
Got it.
All right. So, is there any other comments or is that?
No, that's it.
All right, cool. So, the third thing that you have to do when it comes to appreciation into cash is you have to expand your own level of personal appreciation. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an example of how appreciation works. And I'm also going to explain to you what appreciation is. Because most of the time, from what I have seen, no one has a clue.
I can back that up.
No one has a clue as to what appreciation is. So we're going to go there.
That's the most common question I get on TikTok.
Okay.
What do you mean by appreciation?
All right. So this is going to be the working definition of appreciation as we continue. All right. The working definition of appreciation is offering happiness to yourself or others. Okay. If you are not offering happiness to yourself or others, in this particular case, we're going to say yourself. If you're not offering happiness, you're not expressing appreciation. If you spend most of your time sitting there struggling and figuring things out and not getting anywhere, then you are not appreciating yourself. Plain and simple. You're not. Okay? And so this has to expand, this idea of offering happiness to yourself. So, right here, this is our working definition. So you may go, well, how do I expand this? I'll tell you. Okay? So we expand this. So let's say that the first, we're going to put it in layers, but it kind of all happens symbiotically. So we're going to put it in layers just for easy understanding. So we're going to say this is your time, right? So time is one way that you're appreciating yourself. And then that time leads to freedom to do whatever, right? Or to make more money. Now, if you're making more money because you're respecting your time, you're going to want to expand this level of appreciation, right? You're going to want to expand that. You're like, well, wait. Hey, what happens if I respect more of my time? I respect more of my time. Guess what? You make more money. Okay? And then the more and more of your time that you respect, the more money you make. Okay? And it just keeps spreading and growing. Now, you may go, well, this says freedom to do whatever. That means you can go get up, decide that you want to go to a park or just spend your time doing whatever. Okay, well, if you knew that if you, by respecting your time, which is the freedom to go out and do whatever you're doing, if you knew that by doing that, you're going to make more money, why wouldn't you do it, right? So I'm going to go to the park. Right? And then, so I'm going to the park, which is something I want to do, which is respecting my time, and that respect for my time allows me to make more money. And so, I know this is kind of messy, but hopefully you can follow what I'm saying, right? And then, all right, well, I really enjoy going to the park, but I really feel like pampering myself. Okay, so I'm going to go get a massage. Well, okay, so I spent some money, right? So spent money as an expression of appreciation for respecting my time, right? So their appreciation just multiplies exponentially. Okay, exponentially. And so the money that you may go, well, you can't make money, going to get a massage. Want to bet? Want to bet? You damn sure can. Okay, you absolutely can. You can make money going to get a massage. You can make money going to the park. You can make money doing whatever it is, going to the bar. You can make money doing whatever.
As long as you feel good doing it.
As long as you feel good doing it, you can do it. The only difference is you don't know how. You don't know how. Okay? So, this is how appreciation works. When you appreciate being able to have your time freedom, and then you're also then respecting the money that you've made by spending it, okay? When you're respecting the money you made by spending it, guess what? You get so much time back. And your life is yours. So what are you going to want to do? You don't want to give your life back up to someone else that they own your time. No. You want to expand that appreciation for yourself, for your time, and for your money. It doesn't matter if it's $10 or $10,000. It's irrelevant. Okay? Does this make sense? Put it in the chat.
Let us know. If you're feeling the gears turning in your head right now, let us know. And we got the answer from Dr. Catherine.
Yes, give me.
This has been a very interesting chat conversation.
That's what's up. All right, give me.
So what she said was one-on-one coaching with health mindset support and emotional strategies to eat healthy for the week using efficient methods. I work with busy professionals and entrepreneurs, efficient help and guidance. As a health and fitness coach for busy women, it's very practical based. I think I'm seeing this now. But what she's seeing, and this is so brilliant, what she's seeing is that her focus and messaging and such is on practical problem solving and less on appreciation and focusing on joy.
Bingo! Now, let me melt your brain a little bit more. Okay? I got more for you. All right? Everything you just said is great. Okay? It's too damn complicated. I got lost within about 5 seconds of that description. Okay? It's too damn complicated. Let me explain something to you. No one cares what you do. No one cares. It doesn't matter if you're a realtor. It doesn't matter if you're a mortgage broker. It doesn't matter. No one cares. What they care about is you. And if you're not willing to tell them about you, then you don't care enough about you.
Self-appreciation.
Self-appreciation. You're telling them what you do. No one cares.
I think people use what they do as a mask for who they really are.
Preach it.
Preach it. So when you're this is networking. This is like standard traditional networking in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Everyone talks about what they do, and it's so boring and so inefficient because no one talks about who they are.
Who they are.
No one knows.
Nope. No one has a clue. And it's very interesting. Right? No one has a clue who they are. And so, because of that, they complicate this. Now, if you notice, this little diagram I just drew actually only talks about one principle, appreciation. It only talks about one principle. I didn't go, oh, well, you got to do this, and now this one is called this. And no, it's just one thing. And you just expand on that thing. You just expand on it. Now, here is the truth that may hit you right in the gut, okay? If it does, put it in the chat. Everyone has their own simple path to money. Everyone. Everyone does, okay? You need to just remove the blinders and make it available to you. And you could literally start doing this right this second. Everyone has their own path. Everyone. Everyone. My path is not going to be the same as yours. Sam's path is not going to be the same as mine. Okay? Prayer. But everyone has their own path. Now, let me ask you guys a question in the chat. How many of you are like, you're absolutely sick of what's going on in your life right now and you want to change it today?
Ooh.
Okay, don't give me sound bites. Do you want to change it today?
Yeah, a little bit of vulnerability here.
Be honest, and it's okay. It's okay.
Honestly, I was at that place not too long ago, and you know this because we live together. Faith said, "How about yesterday?"
Oh, yesterday. All right,
and sis. Yeah, no, this was something that I've shifted into very, very recently. Very recently. It's very different. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say next.
Well, anybody else, or was that it?
Yeah, no, Faye, Dr. Catherine, definitely me. Feel I've been working too hard. Yes.
Hey, I get it. So here is what I'm going to offer you. Okay? You can express appreciation to me because I have set up a place where you can actually book a call with me. And if you want to find out what your path is, then we can sit down for an hour and a half. We'll go over everything we need to go over in regards to setting up your path, and you will have something to do right then and there. Okay? Right then and there. When we're on the phone or on a call, Zoom, whatever, all right, it's about action. What you're going to do right then and there. And we're going to figure that out together. If you're interested in booking a call with me, send me a direct message here on Circle. And we can get it set up.
Yeah.
We can get it set up.
Do you mind if I mention about that one chick that you worked with?
Me, Autumn?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, do you want to talk about Autumn?
No, you go ahead.
Okay, so if anyone is like, what are you talking about? A simple path to make money? That sounds so like, okay, whatever. I've seen this happen in real life more than once. Andre had a client named Autumn who came to him. She was not doing well.
No, she was barely making $500 a month.
And she had her own little like business where she was making advertisement videos.
Yeah, she would make videos that were kind of like the videos you see on YouTube where it's like the voiceovers or like green screen and she's talking and stuff like that, like just ads. She was doing that for people.
Right. So after working with Andre for, what, a month?
It was about 3 weeks.
It was about 3 weeks. She had her first $30,000 month.
She had $38,000.
$38,000 month.
Yep.
Now, curb your expectations, right? This is going to be different for everyone, but there is a path for you.
Yeah.
That is the truth. And you could probably feel this in your body right now.
Yeah.
Making money was never supposed to be complicated.
Nope.
But we overcomplicate the shit out of it.
We really do.
It's probably the most complicated aspect of business.
It's probably the most complicated aspect of life.
Yeah.
But I don't actually know that for certain because I don't know everything about life. But what I do know is that money is an incredibly simple process. Okay? It's incredibly simple. And what really gets me is that when I actually sit down with people, this is what happened with Autumn. When I sat down with her and explained her the road, like this is what you're going to do, she went, that's it. I was like, yeah, that's it. That's all you're going to do.
She wanted to complicate it.
Yeah, she wanted to complicate it. She was like, oh, no, I got to do this. And no, you don't. Just don't listen to you. Listen to me. Okay? Do this.
Yeah.
That's it. You know? So that's it, really, on that. Now, any comments, questions, or anything?
No.
All right, cool. So, self-appreciation is paramount to your success. Okay? It's paramount. It's paramount. Because the more you appreciate yourself, the more you expand your emotional horizons. Yesterday, I talked a lot about emotional development versus personal development. Right? Emotional development. Self-appreciation is one of the, if not the most powerful tool that you can use to get yourself out of financial ruts. I know that may sound strange right now because you're not accustomed to it. Okay? Hey, when it happened to me, I was not accustomed to it. All right? I was just like, what? That doesn't make any sense. That's dumb. What am I supposed to do, though? Right? What am I supposed to do? Oh, I'm supposed to have these long list of instructions. No. My mentor gave me 3 instructions. 3. And he was just like, do this. Okay? It's that simple. And that's how I end up that's part of the reason or how I started developing quantum networking. It's about simplicity. It's about simplicity. So, what questions people got for me?
Ooh, interesting comments. And I totally agree with Faye on this.
Give me.
We complicate money because we're taught that we need to do hard work to make it.
Absolutely.
And if not physically hard, it has to be mentally hard or complicated.
Yeah. My methodology does not do that.
But that's just part of the human game.
It is.
Your power is hidden in confusion. And you did this to yourself.
Indeed.
This isn't something that was, I mean, you learned it from someone else, but you set that up for you so you could experience it and then untangle yourself from it.
Right.
And then Noor said, we're told that large sums of money doesn't come by instantly.
Yeah, well, if that was the case, people do tell you that. Do you know why people tell you that? Because they themselves haven't experienced it.
Yep.
Okay, that's the only reason that people tell you that. They haven't experienced it. They are relaying their experience. My experience is that in 1 year, I went from $50,000 in debt to $450,000 profit to myself. Okay, so in fact, I actually made over $500,000 that year. Okay, and that was in 2019. And then, by the way, I was not in a good living situation. Okay, I was not. I was in a hoarded out house, dead serious. Okay, I was in a hoarded out house. The house had insects, bugs, mice, etc., etc. Not an exaggeration.
Filth.
It was bad. Okay? It was bad. I went from that to getting out of that.
Thanks to me.
Well, Sam played a very instrumental part in me getting out of there. But when Sam met me, I didn't have nothing. Yeah. Okay? There's, on social media for her, sometimes people will say, oh, well, she married into someone who was rich. I was not rich. Okay? I was the furthest thing from it. I had $320 in my bank account. Okay? That was it. Yeah. That was it. I had nothing. Like, nothing.
Yep.
So, when I say nothing, I mean nothing.
Yeah. I just want to point out something really quick.
Sure.
This is the issue with logic and making logical decisions. Logic tells you that money or large sums of money don't come by instantly. But that is because it makes sense to somebody else.
Right.
And that replicates itself until there's a massive group of people who all believe the same thing. And it feeds into itself.
But just because a bunch of people say it doesn't mean it's true.
Oh, Faye said you appreciated me. Which was how we appreciate each other, honestly. Yeah. I think we definitely had our differences.
Yes, but yeah.
Yeah. Appreciation isn't taught even in business and marketing.
You know why? Because you'd be successful too fast. You ever think about this. You go and you look at incredibly wealthy and successful people, right? What happens? What do they talk about? They talk about appreciation. They talk about it. You can go look at interviews. They talk about it. And people don't even know what it is. I just told you. Okay? Appreciation is offering happiness to yourself or others. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I want to help you get out of your rut. And I know how to find your route. Now, I cannot walk your route for you. But I can help you with your route to wherever it is you're supposed to go. Maybe the thing that you're doing right now isn't what you're meant to do.
Yeah.
Hey, that's happened. I did sales for 3 years. I did really well at it. But it wasn't meant for me. It wasn't meant for me. Okay? It wasn't meant for me.
Yeah, you were a stone cold killer.
Yeah, I was killing it. I had students out the wazoo. I was running a closing company.
And this was within months.
Within months, yeah.
Of your very first sales class ever.
Yeah.
So you went from being you couldn't even speak to people.
No.
Normally.
I had the worst social anxiety, or at least I thought it was pretty bad. I had really bad social anxiety. To the point, Sam can confirm, okay, that I couldn't even go to the grocery store without locking up in place. I would stand near frozen. I couldn't go to restaurants without being locked up frozen. Okay? I overcame a lot of shit. A lot of shit.
Yeah. Freeze mode times 1,000.
Yeah.
It was
really
tough.
Yeah. So, now it's nothing because I've, applied a lot of these principles through myself and I've been able to get over a mountain of different problems. But, yeah.
I think the important thing to point out with all of this, because it's just talking about you a lot, but this relates to all of you.
It does.
In that change or these experiences that are meant for you, they're not the same as Andre's, but you're going to have your own. They can happen much quicker than you realize.
They really can.
Yeah. But you're following the logic. You're not appreciating yourself. You're doing everything but that. And that's why you've been stuck for so freaking long.
Yep.
And you know what's funny? If you've ever met millionaires or wealthy people, when you talk to them and interact with them, you can kind of sense that they have a lot of self-appreciation, but you wouldn't identify it as that. It's kind of like they have this je ne sais quoi about them, but that's exactly what it is. It's appreciation for themselves.
I was once told this by my mentor, and I live by it to this day. And sometimes people don't like when people talk really highly about themselves. And my mentor would be like, if someone didn't speak highly of themselves, I would never want to talk to them. And I live by that. I can't stand talking to people who just beat themselves up all the time. I can't stand it. It is actually emotionally painful for me to do. So when someone is like, oh yeah, I did this, I accomplished this, I'm like, man, go for it. Yes, that's what I want. Yeah, tell me what you did. You know, because I want to know that you're proud of yourself, right? Some people are like, oh no, they're just overcompensating. Let them. Like, what's the harm in it? There's no harm, right? And if you don't want to listen, you can just get up and leave.
Focusing on other people.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, hey man, go ahead. Talk your shit.
So we have some comments.
Give me.
Okay, Faye said, I know I'm not doing what I'm meant to do, but I carry health insurance for my whole family, so I have to phase out carefully. Stu, the thing about, this is my perspective. The thing about, I totally feel you, Faye. Consciousness and your intuition does not want your life to fall apart. It does not want your life to crumble and for bad things to happen to you.
Facts.
But it can be scary to make the moves that you know you have to make. And she also asked about the sunglasses, why you wear the glasses.
So I wear the glasses because several years ago, I mentioned this in another video, but several years ago, I actually lost my eyesight. So I can see out of my right eye to some extent, but I cannot see out of my left eye at all. And I have really bad light sensitivity, so that's why I wear the glasses.
Yeah, so they're light blocking glasses.
Yep.
Okay, hey Tox. Okay, so Tox said, I feel like I still don't understand what I should do next or how exactly appreciation leads to wealth. I also don't own my own business.
Okay, so what do you do right now? How do you generate income, quote unquote?
Yeah, let us know. And then Troy said, are we supposed to be able to see the other videos? So we put the recordings in Phase 2 Academy just because there was so little viewership on them. Sort of.
That's not why, but okay.
Okay, well, why don't you explain why?
Okay, the reason why we put them in Phase 2 Academy is because Phase 2 Academy is the next thing that we're actually going to be building so that people can start learning from all of the different things because there's a lot of stuff that's in Phase 2 Academy. So when people start moving into Phase 2 Academy and they're ready to move on at their own pace, because all the stuff that's in Phase 2 Academy is designed to help you get into Phase 2, okay, and stay in Phase 2 so that you're focused on yourself and your happiness and expansion throughout the entire thing. Phase 2 Academy is where we're putting a lot of stuff.
Yeah, okay. But we have the free course available to you in the community if you missed out on the other videos. It's not the same content, but still. Okay, so first of all, Tox said, I've been in sales for years. I'm currently living off unemployment after layoffs.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. So, interesting. So you have a lot of time on your hands. So what have you been doing outside of the unemployment?
Let us know. And then Dr. Catherine said, it's an energy. I've heard that the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie, is the only book you need to be successful. And when I read it and applied just the first chapter, I saw great shifts. It's a book about appreciating other people, but you can flip it. And I wonder what would happen if you tried it on yourself. Ooh.
What would happen?
What would happen?
Indeed.
Yes. So I think it's just so funny that no one tells you.
Nobody tells you. Well, it's not even that, a lot of the time it's not that no one tells you, it's that nobody really gets it. The guy just now, Tokes, who said, hey, I don't get it, but I've already explained it, I've already explained it.
This is one of those things that doesn't, and I think this is why so many people struggle with understanding or appreciating themselves, rather. It's because it doesn't make sense until you do it. And once you do it, go ahead, Andre.
People are very used to not being happy. Okay? They're very accustomed to the struggle. Okay? If you're here right now, you're struggling. I don't care what you tell me. You would not be here if you weren't looking for answers. I don't care. You can tell me whatever BS you want. Okay? You are looking for answers. And you've been looking for answers for a really long time. Okay? And you're sick of constantly being told one different thing and another different thing and another different thing and another different thing. Okay? And you just want one thing that works. Hey, if that's the case, tell me in the chat. That's why you're here. Okay? You wouldn't be here otherwise.
So Toke said, I've been interviewing for a new sales job, but I do have time. I'm open to new opportunities as well. Should I start a business?
That's up to you. Is that the right path for you? Is that the right path for you? Right now, we don't know. We don't know. But if that's something you want to know, book a call with me. If that's something you're ready for. If you're not ready to do something today, don't bother booking a call with me. I'm not interested. Okay?
Yeah.
If you're like, I want to change this shit now, book a call with me. If you're not, then don't. Because it's not going to be a shooting shit kind of conversation.
Ugh. Yeah, you guys are going to get to know Andre real good. He is I don't even know how to describe you. So Faith said, the problem isn't even just that people don't get it. They don't open their mind to trying to get it.
That's also true.
It's fine to not know something. It's not fine to try not to learn better.
Well, this isn't a matter of learning. It's a matter of unlearning. See, people very often think they have to learn more and learn more. My system actually teaches you how to unlearn stuff. Okay? Unlearn those beliefs that are stuck in your head. Okay? You want to unlearn it. You don't want to learn. No, you want to get rid of it so that you can open yourself up. Less learning and more experience. Less learning and more experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It's like, no, this isn't about learning. This is about unlearning. Getting rid of the stuff that's actually keeping you bound.
Y'all know it's there.
Yeah, because you're here. You wouldn't be here in this stream right now listening to me unless you were looking for answers because your life is not where you want it to be.
Mm. So what questions do y'all have?
Yeah, give me your questions.
Let us know. I'm typing.
Yeah.
What questions do you have? This stuff is, like Andre just said, it's about unlearning. We are not trying to jam more shit into your heads.
Nope.
What we are intending for you is that you get clarity and simplify your entire experience.
Yeah. It's all about simplification. Okay? Simplification requires unlearning, not relearning.
Okay. Haley, interesting question. So
yes.
Wait a minute.
Give me.
Thoughts on the idea of being very happy and in peace and broke at the same time? What is keeping you bound or broke?
You mean in that instance?
Yeah, I think what she's asking, and let us know if I'm incorrect, Haley. I think what she's asking is if you are happy and in peace and you're also broke, why are you still broke?
Interesting question. Okay. Why are you still broke? Just think about it for a second. All right. Now, here's my question to you. Is your happiness and peace around money? Is money integrated into your existence? If you're telling me that you're broke, the answer to that is no. You have not entered money into why you're happy or content with the world. And if you haven't done that, that's why you're broke.
Yeah.
That simple. Because if money is not a part of that happiness, that's why you're broke. Now, there are people on the other side of the world, let's use India as an example, that have like no money, but they're like the happiest people in the world. Money is not a part of those particular people's existence, but they're so happy. Okay? What I'm telling you is that you can be happy and have a bunch of money.
Can I just tell this story really quick? And then I will answer your question, Noor and Troy. So literally last week, all the videos have a lock. Okay, weird. I will check on that, Troy, after this live stream. Literally last week, it hit me
What
like
videos have a lock?
The free course videos. I don't know why they would.
That's weird because other people have been going through them.
Yeah.
Right.
last week it hit me like a freight train. I was out for my walk. And I've been doing lots of like integration work, shadow work over the past year. And one thing that I've completely overlooked, and this relates to your question perfectly, Haley. One thing I completely overlooked was accepting money as a part of me. So if I accept that I've created my entire experience is created by my senses, yet I still feel victimized by money as if money is some force outside of me. That is my failure to accept money as myself, as part of me.
Bingo. So
I did that. I sat down and I was like, I enjoy the feeling of money being a part of me. The same way that my blood flows without me having to think about it. My heart beats. I breathe. You notice if you try to breathe, it's really hard to breathe.
Yeah, it's really hard.
If you try to make money, it's hard. But when you accept money as a part of yourself and it's not something outside of you that victimizes you, that's when it starts to flow to you. And it doesn't make sense logically, but it's true. So that answers your question, Haley. How do you shift into being happy using money? You accept money as a part of yourself.
Right.
The same way that your blood and your lungs and your everything is a part of you. Okay. All right. So Noor asked, could you give an example of appreciating yourself in a certain situation?
Regarding what? You mean just any situation?
Yeah, any situation.
Well, I gave one, but I'll give another one. Okay, so let's say that, I got a great example. I love video games. Love them. Okay, I love them to no end. I play all different types of games and whatever, right? Now, one of the things that I do is I actually beta test games for people, whether it be a card game or an actual video game or whatever. I beta test those games. And people, because of how much I not only appreciate myself, I can actually go to someone and say, hey, I'll test your game, but it'd be $5,000, right? But usually they'll come to me and say, hey, man, I hear you're really good at this, or I hear that you like to do this, and boom. And I say, yeah, it'd be $5,000. And then they'll be like, okay, no problem. And then they'll pay me $5,000 and I play their game for X amount of time and I give them feedback. Okay. But the thing is, because I love it so much, that's why I do it. Okay. I do that on my own time for free. Right? I appreciate the opportunity that I have to be able to do that. Now that actually allows me to not only do it and get paid to do it, but allows me to work on whatever else I decide to work on, because I can do that. Because I have unlimited time. I can do whatever I want. So my whole thing about appreciation is respecting my time as much as possible. I don't do anything I don't want to spend my time on. Okay? I don't. Period. And I didn't used to be like that. I used to be a workaholic. I used to work all the time. Okay? 26 hours in a day. I was busting my ass trying to get clients. But now I respect my time too much. No way. I barely work 1 hour a day. I barely. If that. You know? That's how. That's an example.
Yeah. Resist the urge to overcomplicate it.
Really, seriously.
So Faye said something interesting. She said, money isn't usually the end goal for me. It's a path to what I want. Security, physical items, self-expression, respect, experiences, etc.
Sure.
So I think that's interesting in that it adds, and I don't know if I can verbalize exactly why, but I'm feeling like it adds a layer of complication that doesn't need to be there, where money becomes the path to what you want. Money's
not the path to what you want.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's not. I see why people say that. In fact, one of the very popular things that people will say is, no, you don't want to, try, no one wants to make money. What they want to do is they want the stuff that money gets them, right? That's what they say. But see, that's not actually the truth. Okay, now I'm going to say this phrase, and I want everyone in the chat right now, okay, to say this to themselves, and then let me know how you feel after I say this. Okay? My feelings are the path to success. Say that to yourself. Okay? Out loud, if you can. And then post what you felt inside when you said it.
Could you say my feelings are the path to everything I want?
Sure. However you want to word it, but I just wanted to say success.
Yeah.
Either way, you can say to you that you want, or it doesn't matter.
My ideal life, whatever. My
Sure.
feelings are the path to success. See, I want to laugh right now because I know it's true.
Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's funny. Let us know what happens.
I'm very interested.
We've talked about this a lot. When you say something out loud and it causes you to feel something, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
You could say that you're a purple elephant who lives in Narnia, and you're not going to feel anything because it's not true. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It feels like I'm either trying to learn or stop listening. It feels like I'm either trying to learn or stop listening to something very important inside of me. Interesting.
That's interesting.
Stop listening to something very important inside of me. Ooh. My brain is trying to reject it. Your logical brain?
Yeah, your brain is trying to reject that.
The logical brain. Yeah. It feels like I'm either trying... My brain thinks I'm lying. See, it's all about the brain.
Yeah.
The brain is like, you know what? No. First of all.
But how do you feel about it?
Notice that you all immediately went to what you think about it.
Yeah, I didn't ask you what you thought.
Yeah. See, Dr. Catherine says I feel tingles in my arms and legs when I say it.
Right.
To learn. Trying to learn or stop listening to something very... Yeah, okay. It's so funny that people default to what they think about something.
Every time. Every time. So many people default to that. Because they're trying to logically understand what it is.
So Faye said it feels like magic. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's true. It's the truth. It's the truth. The only thing is, you don't know how to use them yet to get you there. That's it. That's it. Okay?
Yes.
That's what it is. Okay? You don't... What did I say earlier? Everyone has their own simple path to money. You can literally change that shit today.
Nor said it feels freeing. Tux feels an uplifting energy. See, when you stop focusing on what you think about something and you focus on how you feel about it, you immediately can know the truth. You know the truth.
You know the truth. Okay? I wouldn't lie to you. Okay? He's like, I wouldn't lie to you.
Literally.
That's the truth. You can feel the truth. You can feel it.
So funny.
Yeah.
You don't tell lies except for that one time in high school.
Yeah, I did tell a lie then. I did. I did.
Yeah. Wow. All right, y'all. What do you want to do? Go ahead.
But again, if you're like, hey, I want to get through this today, book a call with me. Let's chat. Now, note, our conversation is private. Okay, nobody knows about the conversation. It's just me and you, and we're gonna talk, and we're gonna get you on that path. Okay, today or whenever you decide to set up a call with me. So just do it. Don't even think about it. Feel it out. Actually, you know what? Ask yourself this. Just ask yourself: should I book a call with Andre? Ask yourself.
I should book a call with Andre. Psych. I get to talk to him all the time.
All the time, right? You know?
Yeah.
Feel it out.
Did anyone come in late?
If you did, oops.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, if you came in late, you missed the story about Andre's one of his previous clients. But anyway, it's gone now. Just kidding. So, yeah. I'm just kind of filling the space with my voice. Is there anything else you want to say, Andre?
Yeah, I'll say this. I realize that this can be, in a way, kind of daunting because when you're thinking about, things from a logical point of view, it can't make sense. All right, let me explain something to you guys. You may have, I've mentioned it before. If you've been here from the very beginning, you would have heard me mention this before. But let me explain something to you. There's a concept called tangled hierarchy. All right, I'm actually going to write it out for you so that you can see, okay, what it is. All right, tangled hierarchy is basically this. All right. This is what it is. This is what it looks like.
Need some new markers.
I need some new markers. I have to do that. But anyway, this is Tangled Hierarchy. Now, you may go, well, what the hell is that? All right. Tangled Hierarchy. This is confusion. This is where confusion begins. This is where a logical loop has no conceivable end. This is what the definition of Tangled Hierarchy is. A logical loop that has no conceivable end. If you stared at this long enough, you'd be like, where does it end? All right? It doesn't. That's the point. Now, let me actually walk you through Tangled Hierarchy. Okay? So let's say a very simple example of Tangled Hierarchy would be that all authors are liars. They lie. Every single author that you've ever seen is a liar. Right? Well, I'm an author, so I'm telling you that all authors lie, which means that that would be the truth. But I said it, that all authors are liars, so it can't be true, so it must be a lie. Right? And then, but wait a second, I'm saying it's true, and I'm lying when I say it, so that means I'm telling the truth. And it just repeats over and over and over. Okay? This right here is what people do to themselves every single day of their lives. Every single day. And it gets more complicated than this. This is just a really basic example of Tangled Hierarchy. People do this to themselves every day. Here's an everyday example of Tangled Hierarchy. Let's say that you need money to get a new wheel for your car because your tire popped, right? So you look at your money, you don't have enough money. Well, you go, well, how do I get any money? So you go somewhere to make some money. But then that doesn't work out. You don't get enough money, right? So then what do? You come up with another question. Well, how do I get some more money so that I can get this tire for my car, right? And then you go and do something else. But that thing doesn't work out either. And so then you do something else. And that thing doesn't work out either. But you still have the problem. The problem was what? That your tire popped and you don't have a new tire. Okay? And eventually you'll get to a point where you're just like, all right, fuck it. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to get the tire. And then you get the tire. Right? The reason you did that is because you jumped out of the logical loop of Tangled Hierarchy into your feelings. You were exhausted from having to do all this stuff that tangled you up in knots. That caused you confusion and frustration. And you said, fuck it, I'm just going to do this. And then once you leave the loop, things change. Your entire life is made up of Tangled Hierarchy. Your entire life. Everything that you do, everything that you believe is Tangled Hierarchy. And you have to find your way out of that.
May I give another example of Tangled Hierarchy?
By all means.
This one is very clear to me. Another example of Tangled Hierarchy is the idea that other people have control over your life versus you having control over your life. So you may notice that you constantly jump back and forth between, I can do this because I want to, but I can't do this because other people don't want me to, but I can do this because I want to, and it's my life, but I can't do this because of other people. Mm-hmm. Jump out of that by focusing on yourself.
Yep. The moment you focus on yourself, that no longer becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Okay? That is a very good example of Tangled Hierarchy. That's what people do to themselves.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Put it in the chat.
Whew. Faye said you drew my brain. Tangled Hierarchy.
Yeah. This is what people do. This right here.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting though? Life is really just a straight line. Life is a straight line. It's just, but people make it this.
Don't forget to go back to the beginning and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Haley said absolutely. Ooh, Faye said, me and my husband did this with a new car. We couldn't afford it. And then all of a sudden we just did it and the money showed up.
Yeah. There you go.
So you're in this loop of we can't afford it, but we need it. We can't afford it, but we need it. We can't afford it, but we need it.
Time it.
Hey, Anna Carolina.
What
so, would keeping a gratitude journal help with self-appreciation, or is it only by feeling?
Well, if a gratitude journal would help you feel happy, then yeah. Anything that helps you experience happiness, go for it. If writing in a journal does that, do it.
But you don't have to.
You don't have to.
For me, writing in a journal is very tedious. But if for you, it's great. For me, I like ice cream. It makes me happy. So I just buy myself ice cream all the time.
That's true.
It's true. Yeah, there's like 3 containers of it in the fridge right now.
Yeah, that's true. Just saying. All right.
Yeah.
But this is what people do right here. Tango hierarchy. They're so lost. Eventually, they just go, you know what? I give up.
Yeah.
I give up is a very powerful emotional state. Because guess what? When you give up, things actually get done.
But it's...
You know, people tell you, you've heard it, don't give up, keep fighting. What the hell are you fighting for? Like, why fight?
Why? It's respectable.
Man, whatever. Okay? Like, why are you fighting? What is the point? You get what I'm saying? Like, what are you fighting for? And whenever people say that, man, shut up. You know what you're talking about. Oh, you got to fight on, man. The struggle is real. You got to keep it going. For what? Now, I don't want that kind of stress. You can have it, but I don't want it. You know, don't give up, man. I give up all the time. Okay, I'm like, yep, I'm done. All right. I am a professional giver-upper. All right. I just give up. I'm like, nope. I give up.
It still blows my mind how everything related to phase 2 in quantum networking is the exact opposite.
It's the exact opposite
of what you learn over the course of your life.
Yep.
But it makes sense logically, I guess, because the truth is hidden in confusion.
Yep.
And what's more confusing than being told one thing but having to do the other?
Yep.
Faye said, I just want to hang out with you. Just telling people to shut up.
Yeah. Hey, man, shut up. You know, I'm a very blunt person. I'm like, hey, man, get out of here with that. Hey, I'll straight up tell you, I'm not interested. All right? I'm not interested.
You know, it'd be so fun if all the people who booked a call with you and learned how to set up their own personal like income stream, if we made like a live event and people just came because suddenly they have a bunch of money, right?
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, that'd be dope. They'd be like, hey, I think that would be awesome.
We could do it in Sedona. Like, that'd be so cool.
That would be dope.
Yeah.
That would be dope.
Yeah,
I like that idea. You know, all these people who are just like, oh my God, I can't believe it was so easy. Yeah. Like, it's easy.
Boom. All right, anything else? It's 3:03. I know you don't care about time.
I don't, but I don't have anything else to say. So unless there are any final questions before we depart for today, I have no other question. I have no other statements.
Yes. This was mentioned earlier. If you were hoping to watch the recordings of the previous streams, but they're no longer available, that's because they're inside the Phase 2 Academy, which is now accessible if you'd like to join that. That is like a slingshot, essentially, for you.
If you're trying to get into Phase 2 and you want to do it at your own pace, Phase 2 Academy is for you.
Yeah. All right, y'all. No more questions? Nobody else has a question? All right. Thanks. No, we're just going to give it a couple more seconds. Thank you so much. Yeah, our pleasure, Faye. Very happy. Thanks for hanging out. We always go longer than we're supposed to.
Yeah, it happens every time.
Yeah, no problem, Haley. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Hopefully you got to catch the whole stream. And we'll be here tomorrow. Yep. Right? Do you know what the topic is?
No, but they'll know when I come over with it. You know, just so you guys know, like, I don't plan any of this. Okay, this just happens. So, you know, that's it. There's no planning.
I hate planning.
I come up with a topic. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. You know, and then I talk about it.
Word. Very welcome, everyone. Thanks so much for hanging out. We're glad to share all this with you. Hopefully,
very glad to.
It brings you peace. Honestly, genuinely, hopefully, it brings you peace. And we will see you tomorrow.
Adios.
Adios. She's face it. I bet it'll be appreciation. Bye, everyone.
Later.